rest of the policy package of privatization, deregulation, and liberalization had been oversold. Fortune reported at the time that even the IMF now admits neoliberalism has failed. The magazine's suggestion that this was a new development was somewhat inaccurate. The policies associated with neoliberalism had been challenged, at least rhetorically, for 2 decades. An early expression of doubt came from Joseph Stiglitz after the Asian financial crisis of 1997. World Bank chief economist from 1997 to 2000 and winner of the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economics, Stiglitz became a vocal critic of neoliberal globalization. In the late 1990s, other critics declared that the unregulated global free market was the last utopia, and the international financial institutions partly agreed. They dropped their doctrinaire opposition to capital controls, the very subject of the 2016 Fortune article. The World Trade Organization, WTO, underwent a similar facelift. After protests shut down its 1999 meeting, it pivoted to emphasize the human side of globalization. Even though the policies described as neoliberal had long been criticized, the IMF report was still significant for recognizing the label neoliberalism. The term appeared poised for the mainstream, appearing in the Financial Times, The Guardian, and other newspapers. Also in 2016, the Adam Smith Institute, founded in 1977 and a source of guidance for Margaret Thatcher, came out as neoliberals, in their words, shedding their former moniker libertarian. Globalist in outlook was one of the principles they claimed for themselves. In 2017, the director of the Walter Eucken Institute in Germany publicly defended the honor of what he called classic neoliberalism and its call for a strong state standing above the interests of lobbies. It seemed that for both critics and proponents, the movement that dared not speak its own name could now be named. This was a clarifying development. Labeling neoliberalism helps us to see it as one body of thought and one mode of governance among others, as a form or variety of regulation rather than its radical other. In the last decade, extraordinary efforts have been made to historicize neoliberalism and its prescriptions for global governance, and to transform the political swear word or anti-liberal slogan into a subject of rigorous archival research. My narrative knits together 2 strands of scholarship that have remained strangely disconnected. The first strand is the work to trace the intellectual history of the neoliberal movement. The second strand is the study of neoliberal globalist theory by social scientists, not historians. Scholars have shown that the term neoliberalism was coined first at the Walter Lippmann Colloquium in Paris in 1938 as a way to describe the desire of the gathered economists, sociologists, journalists, and business leaders to renovate liberalism. As one scholar argues, one of the most defensible ways to study neoliberalism is as an organized group of individuals exchanging ideas within a common intellectual framework. Historians have focused in particular on the Mont Pelerin Society, formed by F.A. Hayek and others in 1947, as a group of like-minded intellectuals and policymakers who would meet periodically to discuss world affairs and the contemporary condition of the political cause to which they were devoted. This group was not without its internal rifts, as the works cited have shown. Apart from monetary policy and development economics, though, the question of international and global governance has been surprisingly neglected in these histories. Although there were differences among these thinkers, my contention is that we can discern the broad strokes of a coherent prescription for world order in their writings and actions. Globalizing the ordo-liberal principle of thinking in orders, their project of thinking in world orders offered a set of proposals designed to defend the world economy from a democracy that became global only in the 20th century, producing a state of affairs and a set of challenges that their predecessors, the classical liberals, could never have predicted. The clearest-eyed academic observers of the neoliberal philosophy of global ordering have not been historians but social scientists. For the last 20 years, political scientists and sociologists have elaborated a sophisticated analysis of the neoliberal project. They have identified efforts to insulate market actors from democratic pressures in a series of institutions from the IMF and the World Bank to port authorities and central banks worldwide, including the European Central Bank.